Good morning and welcome to Local Business Focus. I'm Sally Barker. Joining us on the show today is Peter Trenaman from Groupsupport, proud station sponsor. Good morning, Peter.
Good morning, Sally. How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
Excellent, excellent. This week, what I want to do is ask you, have you done anything new recently? What's something new you've done?
Done something new, but it was something old before.
Oh, that's fine.
So it was something I revisited.
Okay, that's
Yes.
good. I encourage all the people that I know, my friends, my family, my staff, to do something new on a regular basis. Stretch yourself. Get out of your comfort zone. Get off the seat. Do something, and I'm a doer. I'm not going to sit around cogitating about the world. So doing new things is quite often what scares some people, and technology is one of those things that presents a whole lot of new things, and people get scared, they get frustrated, and quite often they relate the new to the frustrating. Okay.
Yeah.
And we have spoken recently, can't remember exactly when, I'm sorry, about reading the manual and talking about reading the instructions and knowing what you're doing when it comes to equipment. I get paid quite often to read the manual. I have clients who ring me and say, Pete, I bought this piece of equipment, come in and install it for me. Okay? And you ask them, what does it do? Well, I bought it to do this. Does it do that? If they're lucky.
Oh, no.
Well, sometimes they are, and sometimes sometimes it does more. Most of the time it's pretty good and they get away with it. Okay? We've had some bad experiences. There's a couple of really interesting songs about that sort of thing if you're into those sort of things. But just winding back a bit and drifting off the topic again, thank you. You've got a degree, you know what learning is like. Do you still learn?
Yes.
Okay. Specifically about your job and work, or is it other things?
Both.
Both. Okay, right. I like learning, and one of the things in IT is there's no particular degree that covers the day-to-day. Okay? So our university is the university of life.
Mm-hmm.
We have literally hundreds of emails a day, hundreds of blogs per week, thousands of articles in a month that we sift through and identify new trends, new ideas, strengths and weaknesses of new things, strengths and weaknesses of old things, things that are broken, things that need patches, and updates for things that were broken once and now have been fixed, or things like that. So it's a wisdom thing, it's an experience thing, it's a learning thing, but it's also used because it makes my business better. Okay, now I have an incentive program for my staff to do the same thing, okay, which is because it's an important part of our industry. So one of the things that keeps inspiring me, okay, is the newness of technology and the way it all happens. Okay, so the what is old doesn't necessarily have to be old in tech speak.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so some of the things I learnt when in the 80s are still relevant now.
Really, we would think that that's not the case.
That's
the way
right.
that we.
That's right. Whereas if you think, about 5 or 7 years ago, maybe more depending, server technology was all GUI based and wizard based, which means that you click on a button and, when you're installing a program, you click on a button that says next, 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 next. Okay? And that's the way it was all going. Nowadays, a lot of it is command line driven. Now, that's the way we used to run all our computers in the 80s.
Really?
It's all command line, where every time we wanted to do something, you had to type it. I mean, I remember typing, 15 or so commands to attach myself to the internet. So I'd have to actually open the port on my machine. I'd have to connect and test to make sure the modem was on. I had to check whether the line was got a signal. Okay, then I had to dial a number, and all these are commands. Okay, I had to put Winsock on there and actually make the encapsulation so it would transmit, so the machine would transmit out of my machine down the telephone line. It was a command that I put in on a computer. So, I mean, nowadays you just click on the internet and it goes. Okay, because that's what you're used to. So, some of those command-driven things, for instance, as one of the examples, is a good example of what is now come back again. And okay, the commands aren't the same, but the experience is. And the old dog in me, I'm 50, I'm not new in the IT industry, but the experience pays. and the ability to talk about those experiences is the other thing that pays.
Yeah.
So one of the things that has been going for, I'm not going to say nearly as old as I am, but is TED Talks. Have you heard of TED Talks?
Yes.
Yes. And that covers a wide variety of different things. One of the things that I've encouraged a couple of clients recently to do is have a look at the top 10 TED Talks. And that's an ever-changing poll of the current things. But it's new thinking. And it's new thinking of old things. It's new thinking for new things. It's different thinking of the same. And sometimes it's just that spotlight of inspiration that casts your mind onto a particular topic or a particular area, which says, hang on, I need to go and revisit that.
Yes.
So for you personally, it becomes new or renewed.
Yes.
Okay. So I also want to take this opportunity to thank you. Thank you personally, because it's been great being in the radio show. I'm a complete newbie at it. Okay. And at the start, I've got to say, I was a little bit nervous and a little bit hesitant. I didn't know what to say, how to say it, all that sort of stuff. But you guys have encouraged me a lot and done a lot to actually make it a lot easier for me. And I hope I'm coming across reasonably as a result.
Yes, you are. You couldn't tell that you've never done it before.
I'm not looking for compliments. The idea is that it's something new.
Yes.
2 years ago, my business partner and I decided that we'd actually have to spend some money on advertising, marketing, and promoting the business. And up until that time, we hadn't done a thing. We'd done a bit of word of mouth. We hadn't done anything structured with sales. We hadn't asked for referrals. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. And we had $1 million business.
Wow.
We'd been doing some stuff right, yeah, sure, with customer service and things like that, but we hadn't actually gone out there.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I'm saying? So having to learn how to do all these new things is terrifying. And I didn't count myself as a businessman, so to speak. I was just had a business that did IT. I did computers,
Mm-hmm.
So
what was that mind shift like? Deciding that, well, I'm a businessman.
It was, I don't know if you've ever felt it, but the idea of I need to put some big boy pants on and get on with it. And
Yes.
hang on, do I really justify? Am I really a businessman, or I'm just pretending?
Yes.
The
imposter syndrome.
That's right.
Yes.
And it's the Australian tall poppy as well. I don't want to put myself out there as someone who's someone he's not, because someone will find out and I'll be ashamed. And that's real. That's honest.
Yes.
But that's what other people go through when they look at new things as well.
Exactly.
So I'm not alone in that basket in that case. So I started, and I was so nervous that I wasn't going to sit around doing nothing, just fretting while I was waiting for this inspiration, this education to come. So I'd arranged a whole lot of education sessions. I'd gone to some breakfasts. I'd gone to meetings with people, and basically getting knowledge, harvesting knowledge. And with the marketing side, there's a lot of background stuff you need to do in your head, and you need to decide some stuff. You need to work out the plans. You need to, we didn't have a future plan. We didn't have a business plan. We just opened the door every day and hoped people came in, and going from that, and it's horrible, horrific in many ways how we survived for 10 years, or 9 and a bit years. But we did, with the help of our vendors, with the help of our colleagues, with the help of our customers. And I'm so appreciative. I'm so thankful that we have people around us to help us. But we decided to take the next step out and sort of be proactive. So the first thing I did was, while I was waiting, I thought, well, I'll put some leaflets in some letterboxes. Mm-hmm. And so I had this black and white photocopied pamphlet, okay, put it to all the letterboxes in the area. I've since learnt that I forgot to put my address on there.
No. Oh.
I forgot to put my telephone number on there.
Oh.
There's way too much information and bored everybody silly.
Yeah.
And so most people see all this black and white print, no pictures, no nothing, and go, what is he on? Now, it didn't damage my business, thank goodness.
No one knew who you were.
But at the same time, I had to do something.
Yeah.
Because that's me. I just had to do something. So, but
you learned from that.
That's it. It's I'm not too proud to actually learn what I don't know. Stick my hand up and learn. So I've got some great people around me now. some really good contacts and some really good resources to make available. You know, one of the things of actually doing these sessions, okay, it teaches me how to talk on things. It teaches me how to keep subjects on track online. It keeps me how to be focused. Other clients should do the same, and I know they should. I'm going to name Frank and Frank and Frank.
Yes.
I mean, the idea of actually going out and improving yourself is really, really what you need to do. Okay. And so my question is, how are you improving yourself? How are you improving your business? Are you doing new things? Are you exploring new things? Are you asking people around you what's new?
And these are all questions business owners should be asking themselves.
Every day, every single day.
Yeah.
You know, if there's always something new to learn, they always need to do something. Even if it's researching what's new, not actually doing anything about it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? The idea of improving the way you respond with security, with emails, how your devices are connected, you know, all those things. We've spoken about a lot of those things on previous sessions.
We have.
But the idea of actually constantly trying to improve and be better isn't a hardline thing, you know, slaving away and losing blood about. It's the desire. It's wanting to do better. Because are you just going to let your business sort of slump into a hole when you retire or when you get tired and it's just going to disappear? You close the doors one day and no one will bother to notice. Mm. Do you know?
Yeah.
I don't want that for my business. I want that for my staff. You know?
And we have spoken of, you know, the reason you're in business, having a clear
absolutely
why, purpose,
that's right,
as to why you're there.
That's right. And I mean, some people it's the love of the business. And so, you know, that some people think, okay, well, carpentry, you can't really get too much new with bits of wood and saws. Mm. And I'm doing a lot of carpenters falsely there. But there's the idea of actually getting out and actually seeing new people, seeing new ways of advertising yourself. People still need doors hung, you know. Mm. But are you just basing your expertise and your focus on your clients, or are you expanding your client base? Are you finding new ways to do things? Are you finding new sources for your business? One of the things that I've got to say, and I want to make sure I said it before we finish this session, is that while I was out soldiering on, bothering the neighbourhood letterboxes, I was seeking help from a great networking group that's engaged with yourselves as a radio station to promote businesses. So we promote each other, we help each other, and we become part of a network. It's a local network. Mm-hmm. And I encourage people to go and search those things out, because that's the great way of actually getting encouragement to do new things, to seek and talk to people gently about scary things in life, like marketing and talking in front of people.
Yes.
So that's one of the things that's really helped me in this journey. So thank you for your help.
My pleasure.
How long have we got? We've got a couple of minutes still?
We do.
What I needed to do is also work. Someone asked me, what do I do for my backups? We spoke about backups a little while ago.
Yes.
And always the test is, what do you do for your backups as a business? I've got all the technology in the world, but what do I do? Mm. Okay. So the idea is that when you're doing backups, you need to choose something that's appropriate for you. Okay. So I back up all my files on site as an exact duplicate. Then I back up everything I've got on a daily basis to both my premise at home and my business partner's premise at his home. So it's a duplicate copy. We keep backup copies back 6-7 years. Okay. Some of the warranties of the products we have last that long. Mm-hmm. Okay. So we have to make sure that we can pull that information out for our clients. Okay. So our clients don't lose more money through something breaking.
Yep.
So that's what works for me. I use NAS boxes. I have UPSs. We use software to transmit the data across the internet. It happens overnight. It happens and it's scheduled after the TV goes off in both households. One goes off a bit later than the other. But with scheduling software, you can do all that. So for a backup, make sure you, and I can't remind you enough, I'm really hot on it, get something that's appropriate for you. But thank you for listening to my rant about new things.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. And thank you for joining us this morning on Local Business Focus. Peter Trenaman from Groupsupport, proud station sponsor.
Thank you.